Alright, so this is going to be a tutorial on how to do Chapter 10. So first off, I'm just going to quickly explain how to height adjust, because you'll need to do this later. It's pretty simple. First off, you just come over here and to settings, and you want to get it so that it looks like this. And the way we get it to look like this is we go over here, go into settings in Steam, go down to controllers, then we go over to here, manage controller bindings. Now you want to make sure it says Half-Life Alyx, whatever controller. Then instead of clicking default, it'll be there set to default. Click custom, then edit this binding. And then move over here to move. Click up here, this top part. Scroll down. Now you see I unbound the click action on this one and sit over here. I went over here, clicked edit, and set it to adjust height. Now when I click, so now since I set this to height adjust hybrid, when I click on the left stick, then it's going to make me crouch, and if I hold it, it'll make me jump. It'll do the jump action without having to actually do it. This is an accessibility feature. Alright, so now with that quickly out of the way, let's go over here. So you just need to run over here and come onto the ladder, open the door real quick. Oh, by the way, if you are running it low on ammo for some reason, and you know that, you can grab a pistol round from right here. And then you just want to make your way over here. And you want to mantle, by holding both sticks towards this and just mantle on top of it. And now what we want to do is do a height adjust up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to physically crouch down pretty low and then hold the button. And now I'm going to pause and stand up. So again, that was me doing the height adjust that I showed you earlier, where I just held that down. It did a jumping action. But since I put my head down, then when I stood back up, I was extra tall. And then, so now we're under here, and we're trying to make our way to that right there. And so we're just going to save and load real quick. Now, the save load is going to bring us further up because the game's going to realize we're out of bounds, and it'll just try and... so this is stems back to source one, and it's just going to decide to bring us upward to try and get us out of bounds. Back in bounds. And so now we're right here. Now so right now we're still height adjusted. So as you see, our feet are way down there. If you want to, you can unheight adjust here. But if you want to save a little bit of time, then once you grab this ladder just to throw up, make sure you're not standing too far back or you might have an issue. Then come over here and just teleport right. Well, first of all, you gotta be quick because that guy comes quite fast. Just come over here and just try and teleport onto the pipes. And then this saves a little bit of time, a few seconds, instead of going around that way and coming around. Be careful when you're up here because you can, and then you just want to, once you're over this way, make sure you height adjust back down. And make sure when you're doing that teleport, don't press continuous because you can easily fall down. But again, you don't have to do that if you want to be safer. Just re-height adjust and then just walk around the other way. But it's really not that hard, so. But yeah, just right there if you don't height adjust afterwards. Then we're going to make our way around here. Pull out a gun because there's going to be some man hacks and a couple combine. Just kill them real quick. Come over here, kill this guy. Ooh, how did you not die? Oops. Now just sprint over here. Let me kill the man hacks just because they'll get in the way. Preferably you'd go fast enough that you don't have to deal with these guys. But so what we're going to do is we need to get up there. Instead of going around the long way, we're just going to do a quick shortcut. So we're just going to mantle on top of this fence. Make sure not to fall. Be very careful. And then you just want to teleport onto one of these pipes. You can do it onto any of them, but the one right here is pretty much easiest. Then teleport onto this plank and right over here. I don't know where that went, but interesting. And so you just really quickly can do that, and you're already at the end of this little section. Then just throw this, blah, blah, blah. Oh, and also interesting, because of earlier, we skipped a trigger that would initiate that, which was from us doing that barrel clip onto that ladder. So where we did the save load up. And because of that, the actual object doesn't load, but it has all the effects around it. So then you just have to wait here, and then this part you just constantly, all you have to do is just start throwing them. It doesn't matter what order you do them in, that's the point of this. But just have fun and constantly throw different ones up. It doesn't really matter. We just got to get these to go. And then eventually, it'll do that. And then we just wait. Also, interesting, you see they spawned in some objects to fall down to make it look better. And also, a lot of these things are being obstructed by, that happening. So you're actually seeing some things that you normally wouldn't. And also you're seeing what was there not originally, which is pretty cool. Alright, so this next part is going to be a bit difficult and hard to explain, but you'll get it down and if you do a little bit of practice. So just come down this, teleport this way, and then stop right here. You want to look back here, crouch down a bit, and you want to get back into this corner. Alright, now it's very dark back here, but if you look to the left, you can see where you are. And what we want to do now is just, we're going to do a height adjust downward. So instead of trying to go up, we're going to keep our head up, and then we're going to press the crouch button so it brings us lower. You could either do this by taking off your headset physically and then doing it, or you could just do a quick jump and then press a button. Also, anyway, you just need to make sure that you get yourself to be higher and then press it so you get lower down. And then now that we're down here, we're going to just pause again and crouch down. Now it's hard to see. It can be hard to see. Sometimes you're a bit higher, a bit too low, and then you won't be able to see this. But you basically just want to get yourself to the point where you can see out this way. And then what we're going to do here is pretty cool. So we need to move ourselves over there, and there's a really cheeky way to do it. So I'm not going to sit down for this because that'd be... I'd like to kneel. So what we're going to do is basically... the way that it determines where your position is based off of your headset. So if we do this, if I turn myself around... Ooh, where am I? Ooh, pressing wrong button, sorry. If I turn myself around 180 degrees, and then I physically move my head that way, and then turn myself around 180 degrees, again tilting my head, you'll now notice I'm much closer to this. So you can just basically turn a couple times, tilt your head, and oh god, where are we? Don't press continuous motion when you're doing this, because otherwise you'll get pushed back. So I'm just gonna... So as you saw, I just turned a couple times and then tilted my head one direction, tilted a couple times, tilted it back the other direction, and this gives me a little bit of a little bit of forward movement each time. And if you do this fast enough, then you can actually move quite fast. And we want to make our way to underneath here. So now I'm going to try and get under here. Alright, so now I'm clearly underneath of here. If you want to be safe, you get a little bit further in. And then what you do is just unheight adjust. And now you're in this area. So we basically just did that thing where we kept tilting our head and doing the turn to abuse that to slightly move forward each time. And again, not pressing continuous movement. And then we just want to make sure that we get underneath this area so that when we press the height adjust button again to bring our feet back up, we're now standing and can walk right here. And now, even though it doesn't show the icon, you can teleport. I think in some spots it does show, yeah. So like right there, it shows the feet, but over here, you can still teleport. So then you just want to spam your way up here. And now we're just going to go kill the Strider real quick. So you just make your way as fast as possible. This is pretty easy. There are a few, of course, stim packs, but you don't really need them. And for this, basically all you want to do is you can just constantly spam it. Just make sure that you constantly hold it. If you let go of it, that's when it stops shooting it. It is a little janky. The second it starts to die, what we want to do is make your way over here. So we were over there, make our way, try and teleport onto this rock here, then lean forward and try and teleport onto this rock. And then once you're there, teleport over. Ooh. Don't punch your dresser, because otherwise you'll die. So now that I died, again, I'm back. You want to teleport over here this way. You want to come over here to teleport onto there. Then from here, you want to not hit that. You want to teleport onto this rock right here. And then teleport. So then now you can teleport to anywhere over here, because it'll then bring you into this beam. And now you're on your way to chapter 11. So all that goes away, and that's it. That's the end of chapter 10.